he sits on the table. Because he was raised by women. What you see, you become. You find the boy sitting on the toilet because all the women in the house are doing that. Female vibration is not enough to fix a man. And I've seen women growing up saying, you are the man of the house. That's nonsense.
Boy, Bishop. Touching the boy, Bishop.
Saying, you are the man of the house. Can you imagine your mother? The mother starts dating. And there's a little boy inside the house. You come with your mother and the boys look at you and say, who's this? Yeah. A little boy like this is looking at you saying, who's this? Because she's made man of the house syndrome. Killing, castrating, making our men eunuchs. The reason why boys don't make it, listen, simply because your father was not a good man is not good enough, because a child in African context does not belong to a person. A child belongs to a village. A child belongs to a community. And if we can come back and say, we are the custodians of our community, then we don't have to have the syndrome of fatherlessness. Can I tell you something? Many men suffer from one wound, the dead-shaped wound. My theme for tonight is making men. Making men. Actually, it's copyrighted. It's mine. You use it, call to me. Making men. And you know why? Because men are not made. Men are floating. The truth of the matter, the church is not helping. Actually, if you're not careful, church is not the place where we meet God. If you're careful, church is the place where we lose God. Yeah. I'm telling you. Church, most of the time, it's not the place, because we come to church, everyone, your wife is busy, men of God, men of God. Pastor said, I teach that, listen, a husband to a wife is higher than the pastor. And now the Christians can say amen. And some men sitting here have allowed the pastor at church to poison the ear of the wife, so that when she comes home, she has a other external masculine vibration that challenges yours in the house. You're not a man. You are castrated and you're a eunuch. You've got the form of a man. You're like a Rolls Royce, but with the engine of a lawnmower. And that's what is happening. Men, we have that. Am I talking, guys? Yes, you know, I am not used to, when I talk to men, you men are intimidating me. I don't know why. But it's like it's not getting in. It's like it's skating. Maybe it's culture shock. I don't know. But you've got to understand that every man must have 4 faces. I actually have got a 34 series where when we speak, sit down. Number 1, I'll tell you this one. I said there are 4 faces of manhood. And if you don't have this, you are not a man. God did not design a man to have 1 face. Those that don't believe in God, nature forbids for a man to have 1 face. A man with 1 face is limited. Manhood is the ability to appropriate the right face in the challenge of life in the season it has given you. Number 1, every man must have the face of a king. Every man. What is the king? Bloodline legacy. You are the guardian of your bloodline. Many men don't know who they are. If you don't know who you are, any road will take you anywhere. Because knowing who you are determines your destiny. All of us here must know who you are. Know your father, please. Whether you like your father, you don't like your father, know who you are. A generation of people that does not know who they are simply experiments in the hands of other races. You must know who you are. Who are you? Who are you? Where are you coming from? What's your father? What are the weaknesses of your family tree? What are the patterns of your kind? Because all of us are kinds. You've been trying to go to counseling because of anger. No, anger is bigger than you. Anger is a dragon that rules in your life. You must know your patterns. The weaknesses, what are we? What are we made of? What are we allowed to marry? What are we not allowed to marry? What's our kind? You know one thing, they too read a book about the bloodline that wrote the Bible. Look at the nature of royalty. They don't allow themselves just to marry. Royal families in England, they don't allow, because they understand the concept of kingship. They understand the concept of royalty. And you know what men today have forgotten? There are girls that you are not allowed to touch, no matter how pretty they are. They contaminate the royalty of your bloodline. I'm talking to myself here. Listen, I'm sorry to say this. You look at a cookie, and by cookie you forfeit crown. There are girls that no matter how powerful they are, we don't eat peasants because we are royal. Look at your relational history. I can tell you who you are. Look at all the girls that you've slept with and the girls that you are dating. And your taste determines who you are. And some of you have been playing with Jezebel. That's it. I'm not talking about Jezebel. Jezebel is the type of woman who's only attracted to weak men. No spine, no voice. The woman sits and makes decisions as a man. You are not a man. You were made. Listen, men are initiators. Women are receivers. That is not demarcation of equality. That's a definition of functionality. And I'm talking to myself. Because when you talk about it, you think that it's about power. No, it's about function. My God, it's about function. It's about function. And if men learn their function, women will function. The man is the sun, the woman is the planet. Anytime you look at it, the man is the sun. The sun has only one temperature. Planets have 4-dimensional seasons. They change in season. Am I helping somebody? The planet has no. The planet orbits around the sun. The sun does not orbit around the planet. Which means that as the planet spins and orbits around its axis with the sun shines through. You know what has happened now? We've got suns that have orbited out of the sun because the sun don't shine. Am I helping men?
Yes.
I'm talking to men.
Yes.
Man must be a king. Someone say king.
King.
Listen, king king. When we talk about king, it's not just acting, it's function. Find your niche and find your role. Find your man and be a man. King, I'm royal. I'm a man, I'm a protector, I'm a leader, I guide. I know the mission. Actually, I do serious marital counseling. And one of the things I do in marital counseling is that one of the prerequisites for every couple to have is this one. Every couple needs to have a mission statement. Every couple, a couple that does not have a mission statement, why are you getting married? Because want to have kids. Don't worry. Dogs get married, they don't get married. Cows don't get married. Giraffes get married. Sex and having children is not a prerequisite to marry. Have kids without getting married. Actually, Jesus was here before they were married. We've over-glorified marriage. If you want to get married because you want to have children, please redefine your rights. I always say thank you, sir. Every couple must have a mission statement. You'll be shocked that you don't know why, who the roles in the house, because there's no mission that defines your union. Listen, you don't choose a spouse based on your preference. You choose a spouse based on your purpose. So therefore, purpose presides preference. And you know what the skill does? I like him, he's tall, she's pretty, she's good, but does she fit into your purpose? Because she can have the outer exterior and the outer furniture, but the engines, they collide with the inner apertures of your functionality. Yeah. That's good English, right? Somebody say making man. No, say making man.
Making man.
Okay, say ndoda. I don't hear you. You're not saying that ndoda. I'm talking about that. I'm talking about a king. Man was created as a competitive creature. I'm talking king. You know, you come to church and say, don't compete. When you stop competing, you start dying. Yeah. A man that stops competing starts dying. That's why when this one buys BMW, he must get Merc. It's not an issue of bad competition. It's the competitive nature within you to keep you going. I was looking at National Geographic, and I was looking at cheetahs, and baby cheetahs were being taught by the mother to hunt for an impala, and there was a baby impala. When the baby impala was standing, the other baby cheetahs were playing with it, and the commentator says she has got to try and run away from them to trigger the instinct of the hunt. Yeah. Without it running, there's no hunt in it. Without a man competing, there's no man in it. Because man was created to compete. And when you come here and we start competing, well, then we die. He must trigger something in me to be better. And when he is wanting to be better, something in me says he is challenging me also. Sure. And then we say it's competing. Yes, it is. Sure. And when we start competing, if he says I've bought 4 houses, something in me must not attack him, but it must trigger a hunt for my other 4. Yeah. And that's what men do. I'm talking to myself. King must compete. King must protect. King must be brutal. You know what the rules of legacy preservation says? If a lion finds another woman with other children, what does it do?
Kills the children.
Why?
So that it can make its bloodline strong, because it can't raise another bloodline.
Are you hearing a lion there? If you are Uber, I'll say you are Uber Black Platinum. Why? Because of strengthening its bloodline, which your mission now is your bloodline. I always tell women, if you marry a man with children outside, and you just want a man and you shut out the children outside, what you are endorsing those kids to be brought on your own children. A wise woman knows how to strengthen that. When I marry the man, I marry the purpose of the man, not the benefits of the man. And that's what we do. Am I helping some men here? Yes. You are created to be a king. You are created to define the vision of your house. And the problem that we have now is that when people get married, they get married with no clearly defined vision. What is the vision of this house? We are the Mafus, and this is what I stand for. And when a woman is coming into my kingdom, I don't care how powerful you are. I will leave you to fly in your power. But you are buying into this purpose. And many of us don't have those balls to tell them, because we are so in love to be in vision. We are so in preference orientation, we can't be purpose oriented. I say this: purpose overrides preference. A man of vision understands that if a woman collides with my purpose, she can't fit my life. Am I talking, guys? It's a fact. One, you must be a liar. The king is a defender of who you are. You are a propagator of your genes. You are taking your family to a place where the predecessors of your bloodline failed. You do not want to be like your father. No, you want to be better than your father.
Oh, yeah.
I keep hearing people want to be like, no, you can't say I want to be like my father. My father ended here. I want to take the family to a level where until I was born, this monument was not there in the bloodline. And every man, mother, so the king must go back home, and you must understand the family tree. Who are we? Where are we coming from? Why are we scattered? Why are we like this? Why is it that all these girls don't get married? Why is it that there is no reference point to any rich person in the family? Some people, if they look at their family trees, everybody is broke. They are more broke, they can't spell the word broke. Because they are that broke. And you ask why. You need to, questions are the mothers of discovery. And one of the things that we've learned in Africa is that don't ask questions. Things must stay the way that they are. That is exactly what perpetuates generational patterns. Bloodline signatures that are defective. One, sins of incest continue. And you understand injunctions to future. The second face that a man must have is the face, hear me, of a soldier. The face of a warrior. First is the king, the seat. And when I talk about seat, I'm not talking about autocracy. I'm talking about function, vision. When a woman marries a man who's a king, when she comes into your life, she knows exactly what she's buying into. When a wife comes into your house and she keeps saying, listen, when a woman sees no vision, she will birth hers. And the vision the woman will birth is her father's. Because that's the only solid structure in her life. So it is dangerous for a woman with a strong father to marry a weak man. Am I helping you? So, because your assignment as a man, you must always ask to see the father of the woman you are dating or your wife. And you must always know that your job is to dethrone him in her mind. And sometimes he's too powerful for you to remove. And that is the tragedy with many of us. Now you're angry at her because of your own weakness. And every time you look at her, she's a mirror that reflects yourself. Now you want to smash the mirror. If the mirror shows you have a bogey here, a fool will smash the mirror. Because the mirror must reflect to you your weakness. I'm talking. I say, then you must have a warrior. Who is the warrior? The warrior is the one now that fights, protects, and takes everything that's a threat in the field of the king. One man, king first, warrior next. Now I'm protecting me. I am seeing that I am this type of a man, the king. But the king employs the warrior. So it's a different phase. You mustn't be a king in times when you must be a warrior. There are times for you to be wise. There are times for you to fight. There are times for the king to say, warrior, fight. And the real man knows mode of fight and flight. Not all battles are worth fighting. The warrior, the one that defends the throne, the one that defends the wife, the one that defends the seat and the home. If you don't know that, I can guarantee you life will break you and chew you up and throw you away and discard you like yesterday's crushed used newspaper. And that's how many men look like. Wasted newspaper. You are no longer relevant today. It is terrible for a man to be wasted paper. That somebody once read you, but you're no longer a fascination to be read. Some of you are disposed at public toilets for public consumption. Because now, life has crushed you and used you up. It's terrible. And this happens by your permission. I'm talking about a warrior. There are ways to bring all these out. Then there's a friend. Every man must have a friend. Listen, there are things that you must only tell a friend that you can't tell your wife. I'm not talking about cheating. I'm talking about you. You need a man that gives you grace to be you. So that when you come home, you don't dump on your wife that which you must dump on a man. Many men who don't have friends, the moment you start telling your wife your weaknesses, she will use them against you. At a vulnerable position. Women, I'm sorry, Mama.
No.
But women are very good at using your flaws. Thank you, Jesus. Every Superman has his own kryptonite. All of us here are a Superman, but we all have our kryptonite. There's something that comes in your face and all your strength goes. There's something that someone can present to you now and your weaknesses come and you can't fly.